Tonight, police call for public information on a missing Cleve man, and the Port Lincoln RSL celebrates a major milestone.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Hello everyone. Authorities are still searching for a man in his 50s from Cleve who has been missing since last Tuesday night. Police hold concerns for the welfare of Daryl Norris as he suffers from a medical condition. Sophia Contagonis has the details.
Police are calling on the public's help to try and locate missing 59-year-old Daryl Norris. He was last seen at his home in Cleve last Tuesday night at about 8:30, but nobody has heard from him or seen him since.
Local police with additional officers from Whyalla and Port Lincoln, along with SES and CFS volunteers, have conducted a number of searches within the township of Cleve and surrounding areas.
They're now pleading with the public to come forward with any information on his whereabouts.
There have been no confirmed sightings of him, and it is possible he could have fallen and injured himself and be in need of medical attention.
A major search has been underway, but areas around Cleve have been exhausted.
These searches have been coordinated by Star Group Field Search Controllers and were supported by the police helicopter. Police have also been assisted by members of the public with a drone and civilian fixed-wing aircraft.
Mr Norris is 59 years old, described as a family man, 183 centimetres tall with a slim build, blue eyes and brown-grey hair. Police say he walks with a limp and was last seen wearing brown cargo shorts and a t-shirt.
Given the passage of time, police have real concerns for his welfare as Mr Norris suffers from a medical condition and his family have not heard from him since he left on Tuesday evening. The circumstances are not suspicious, however police keep an open mind in the hope he will be found safe.
Authorities say they'll continue searching, but due to the lack of information on where he may be, the search will soon be scaled down. Anyone with any information on where he could be is urged to contact police. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Lincoln High School is mourning the death of one of its students who died over the weekend. In a post online, the school says it will be supporting students and staff during this difficult time. It says a focus on returning the school back to a normal routine will also be top priority. A report will be prepared for the coroner. A 27-year-old man will face the Whyalla Magistrates Court after being caught drink driving and using an expired licence at Whyalla Stewart on the weekend. Police were called to Phillip Street after reports a Holden sedan had a flat tyre after hitting a curb. The man allegedly registered a blood alcohol reading of 0.069. Broken Hill Police say they're disappointed after catching 2 locals driving without a licence. One of the offenders, a 47-year-old Broken Hill woman, allegedly gave a fake name during her traffic stop and blew double the legal limit. Police later discovered she had never held a licence and the vehicle was unregistered.
It is very disappointing to see drivers are still driving unlicensed. We do ensure that we are out there patrolling, and we do. It's just one of those things that while we're out there, we are catching them.
Police will be increasing their patrols in the lead up to the St Pat's races. Tommy Bay's RSL is marking a special milestone this week, with the club celebrating a century since it first opened its doors. A military parade along the foreshore on the weekend helped kick off the anniversary.
A military parade to honour our servicemen and women. Tommy Bay out in force to celebrate the centenary anniversary of the town's RSL.
Well, the importance of this centenary is to continue the camaraderie of the service persons when they return from war.
Hundreds gathered across the streets as the parade soldiered on throughout the town. From the Barossa Light Horse Cavalry to a tribute to the Army nurse, the milestone was all about paying homage to the important work the RSL does.
To honour the fallen and to help each other. And the fact that we're still here at our centenary is showing that we are doing just that.
It wouldn't be an anniversary without a cake, which was cut by the club's vice president.
An amazing community feel. You know, like we were so well supported by our Tumby Bay community. Pretty much the whole community was involved, and that made it such a successful event.
The weekend event also saw the Horse Cavalry perform a dozen routines on the town's oval. Visitors from across South Australia travelled to the town to help celebrate the special milestone.
I'm sure there was over 1,000 at on the oval at the main event on the Saturday. That was just absolutely a success.
The Adelaide Military Band also performed during the parade and dinner. The club says it'll continue to grow and support our Army veterans and servicemen, past and present.
We want to turn it into a refuge centre, which we have used in the past, and that's probably one of our next priorities.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a look at the Broken Hill real estate market, and wineries in Port Lincoln launch into full production mode. Welcome back. Real estate agents in Broken Hill say the start of their year has been promising. A number of buyers have come onto the market in January, with the average house price enticing plenty of investors.
From fixer-uppers to $500,000 luxuries, Broken Hill Real Estate has something for every budget.
We've got pretty good momentum in the market, so homes are selling well, there's good activity, prices are fair.
The Silver City property market has seen good turnover to start the year. First National saying they've seen a number of vendors selling and a number of buyers investing. The varied price range offering purchasers plenty of choice.
Between, $30,000, $40,000 up to, obviously the market will go over 5, occasionally a 6 here and there. But, I think statistically general average would be around about that 120,000, 130,000.
A number of buyers, locals, purchasing their first or even upgrading.
It's one of the most affordable times in Australia's history to upgrade your home from an interest rate perspective. So we've seen a few people jump on board there.
There are currently 239 sale listings in Broken Hill.
The higher end of the market, moves quite quickly, but we certainly still have supply. There's not a shortage of accommodation. It's still there, but obviously quality will vary.
Experts say renters are flowing into the city. 2 years ago, the rental market had dried up due to all the major projects going on around town.
Most of our vacancies throughout the year focus towards the end of the year and the very beginning, and again, a lot of those vacant properties get taken up in end of January or early February.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Lincoln wineries are in full production mode this week, with the first grapes being picked for the season. A warmer than usual start to the year, though, has seen yields dwindle, with some popular reds almost wiped out at one winery.
A difficult year for one of Port Lincoln's leading wineries.
We're probably going to pick half as much as we normally do.
It's a daunting outlook for Boston Bay Wines, which has lost all of its Cabernet and most of its Shiraz due to severe weather.
It was 40-something degrees and 6 hours of high winds. I think they shut all the schools and there was just very, very delicate flowering process that it was going through.
The flowering process takes around 4 weeks and leaves the vines very vulnerable to weather conditions. Luckily, the Whites and Merlot were saved, but the Cabernet, which had just started flowering, was all destroyed. Tony says it'll take a few years before they feel the full effect.
We'll certainly be hoping to have a great 21, 22 vintage with the reds, and we might have to take special care to really make sure we get some fruit off.
The winery is the first in the region to start harvesting. It's good news for Riesling lovers, with more than 8 tonnes of the dry white expected to be picked this weekend.
So the grapes that we have picked so far have been, stunning. So, we've picked our Sauvignon Blanc over the weekend, and although there's a shortfall in tonnage there, they're stunning.
To add insult to injury, the winery also suffered a dry winter.
Doesn't matter what you do, we'll always end up, with, if it's not a wet winter, there'll be a shortfall of.
Despite the loss, Tony says he's got nothing to complain about compared with other wineries which are still recovering from the devastating bushfires.
There's been some horrific events, and you certainly zip up when you see what's happened with the fires and different things, and our good friends in Kangaroo Island been devastated over there.
The winery is expected to finish its harvest just in time for the Port Lincoln Cup, a bottle of well-deserved bubbles for the first vintage of the new decade. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill is being sold on the international market as an authentic outback experience. A member of the city's local council recently made a trip to Germany in a bid to promote the region as a top destination to visit in 2020.
Over 15,000 kilometres away, the Silver City is on the German travelling radar.
We cooked up an idea of me going over there and doing a webinar.
Patrick Kreitner moved to Broken Hill 17 years ago, all the way from Munich, Germany. Last month he went home for a holiday but still had the mining town in his head. Working with Destination New South Wales, he showcased the city to over 90 German travel agents.
There's quite a lot of Australian specialist travel agencies in Germany. However, even they don't necessarily know a lot about Broken Hill.
Patrick says the webinar was well received to the city and the Far West region, receiving plenty of notoriety on the other side of the globe. Broken Hill's heritage and surrounding bushland capturing the most attention. Local tourism operators hoping it'll increase the number of international tourists. Right now, international visitors only equate to about 3% of total numbers.
We did see a lot of German guests come through. Second after that would be people from France. They come out and they love sending photos of them sunbaking in the heat out here.
Mr McIver says tourism contributes $98 million to the local economy and he only wants that to grow. A business breakfast will be held this week with tourism operators and locals invited to attend.
We're at the Musos Club Wednesday morning at 7 o'clock.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Police have today targeted motorists in school zones as part of an operation focusing on the safety of children and pedestrians. RAA CEO Charles Mountain says they're also reminding residents to drive extra carefully in those areas.
The roads are busy. There's often school crossings in operation in the vicinity of schools as well. And parking usually is often a challenge in many locations too. So very important people are focused.
The Blitz happened alongside a new campaign to remind motorists to wear seatbelts. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, well, the best Spencer Gulf produce to be on show over Easter, and Whalers Basketball Carnival hailed a major success. Hello again. Port Broughton's fishermen are gearing up for the town's inaugural Seafood on Spencer Festival. The event will bring together some of the area's best produce, and organisers are reminding foodies to get in quick with more than half the tickets already sold.
A doorstep to the region's best produce. This area will soon be transformed into a seafood hub for family and friends to enjoy this Good Friday.
We just felt like the region was really missing an event like this. We've got access to some of the best seafood in Australia, so we thought, why not showcase it?
Exactly 2 months until this event kicks off, it's crunch time for these organisers.
We've been flat out. There's so much involved that we didn't realise, but I'm very excited and loving every minute of it, and we've made some amazing networks.
From ocean to plate, various caterers have been handpicked for the day, with these fishermen also telling their story.
We've got a question and answer session with the commercial fishermen down the end of the jetty in the morning. We have a cooking demonstration from Sal Caputo, which I think we will all learn a thing or two from.
Partnering with local wines, Mr Mix and Tim Adams, wine lovers will also have the choice to match their drop, and live music kicking off the day.
We've got 2 bands playing throughout the whole day. We've got our local duo, Rentfree and Stringer, to start off, and then we've got the Baker Boys coming up from Adelaide. So yeah, lots of live music.
Organisers say this event is crucial for putting Port Broughton on the map.
No, it's really important that we have an event like this to bring people from outside the region to Port Broughton. We can spend some money and invest in the town.
Nearly 800 tickets have already sold. Those interested are urged to get in fast.
Do the best we can at showcasing the seafood that we have available here.
More information on the event can be found on the Seafood on Spencer Facebook page. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The palliative care service at the Broken Hill Hospital will be receiving almost $400,000 worth of upgrades. The funding boost from the New South Wales Government will see patient rooms in a medical ward wing refurbished to make the environment more home-like for palliative care patients and their families.
It really is going to be a great thing for us to have a better space and a better environment, physical environment, to provide that level of care to them.
Courtyards outside the patients' rooms will also be upgraded. The search for a new Barunga West Council CEO is continuing following the departure of Andrew Cole. Mr Cole accepted an offer as the Chief Officer of the Parliamentary Reporting Division. In the meantime, Graham Maxwell has been appointed as the acting CEO. He was previously the CEO of the Victor Harbour Council. Whyala's annual basketball carnival has been hailed a success, with hundreds of people attending from across the region. More than 50 games were held across the two-day event, with some young players gearing up for nationals.
The atmosphere at Whyala's Jubilee Stadium, one to remember. Basketball teams from across the region bringing their A-game and passion, all fighting for the winning prize.
We've got some teams from Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Port Augusta, and obviously us in Whyalla. Age groups from under 10s through to under 18s, so it's our annual carnival.
The excitement palpable.
I'm excited, a little bit nervous though, but I think it should be fine.
The basketball community puts on this annual event, encouraging young children to get involved in their local sport.
Obviously, it is the physical benefits that they get from playing with each other, but it's also the teamwork and the sportsmanship that they develop, sort of the camaraderie with each other is great.
It's massive for the town, massive for the region. Lots of money coming in, and it's all about the kids enjoying themselves, I guess.
Packed with family and friends on the sidelines, their teams had an abundance of support, cheering them on at every moment.
Great space out here. We've got lots of parents and caregivers and involvement, which is great.
Good, like when you get a cold, they encourage you and it's really good.
You'll see here right now a lot of the parents cheer a lot harder than the others and that, but they want the kids to be competitive, but it's all about the kids having fun at the end of the day.
Anthony also cheering on his son, Jake, a top A-grade player in the under-12s boys division.
Very proud, but try to keep him grounded.
But it wasn't all fun and games for some. Whyalla Steelers player Crystal preparing for the big time. She has been selected to represent Australia country in New Zealand next month in the under-14 girls team.
Well, I was in Albury and I was playing for South Australia, and then before I left Albury, they told me that I got selected to play for Australia. I'm very excited, a little bit nervous.
Crystal says it's the lifelong friendships that she's made with her teammates over the years that drives her passion for basketball.
Yeah, I think they're pretty proud. I'm really proud of my teammates.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. Still to come after the break, we'll have the weekend cricket wrap and the weather with Brit. Thanks for joining us. Whyalla cricketers took to the field on the weekend with plenty of wickets falling in the Steel City clash between Rupina and North Whyalla. Sophia Contagonis has this week's cricket wrap.
It was a hot day here at Schultz Reserve over the weekend, with Rupina and North Whyalla battling it out for second spot on the ladder. Rupina starting strongly through the partnership of Chenoweth and Feebig. However, regular wickets started to fall, Rupina slumming from 1 for 80 to be all out for just 127. North Whyalla's Sam Dorr took 3 wickets, with Dale Raymond and Dave Miller also strongly contributing. The Magpies got off to a shaky start batting, however Blake Harding and Dave Miller steadied the ship. A superb knock of 62 from Blake Harding helped North chase down the target, taking out the win by 4 wickets. In the other Whyalla clash over the weekend, 73 runs from Brad Smith helped Central Whyalla easily defeat South by 242 runs. Heading over to Port Augusta, South Augusta defeated Central Stirling by 44 runs, taking them to the top of the ladder. Moving to Port Pirie, and Wanderers were successful in defeating Solomon Town North by 57 runs. Steve Anathos, the man of the match. And a stirring 123 from Randall Watt helped Proprietary defeat Southport at Memorial Oval. In Port Lincoln, Charlton were defeated by Southern Air by 7 wickets. Waybacks taking the win from Lincoln South by 17 runs, while Tasman comfortably defeated Todd River. Over to Broken Hill, and South have bounced back from their previous defeat by West, securing a vital win. Finishing off in the northern areas, Spalding Boobarawi defeated Belaley Mananeri with 2 players scoring centuries. Orroroo were defeated by Boolaroo Willalawi. And Peak Nakarootan and Boora also winners over the weekend. That's all for this week's Cricket Wrap. We'll be back tomorrow with the rest of sport.
Now let's have a look at your week's weather. Here's Britt Aylen.
Thanks, Louise. Warm and sunny about the region today. 34 the high at Port Augusta. Port Pirie reached 32, Whyalla 31, Port Lincoln 30, Broken Hill 28 with a little bit of cloud about. A ridge of high pressure kept our skies mostly clear, as you can see from the satellite, with a trough bringing scattered cloud about coastal areas. Moving along to tomorrow, on the Gulf waters, southerly winds at 10 to 15 knots with seas reaching 1.5 metres. And we can expect sunrise at 6:44 a.m. It's looking mostly sunny with cloudy conditions over the lower Eyre Peninsula. An expected top of 33 at Woodner, Broken Hill 32, Port Augusta 31, Port Pirie 30, Whyalla 29 tomorrow, Kadina 28, Clare a top of 27 degrees, Cleve 26, Port Lincoln 25. Further through the week with cloudy conditions on the forecast at Port Lincoln, maximums in the mid-20s. Cleve cloudy and 24 on Wednesday, fine Thursday and Friday. Woodner looking partly cloudy through the remainder of the working week. Whyalla and Port Augusta both fine and partly cloudy on Wednesday, sunny on Thursday. A mostly fine few days ahead at Kadina. Fine at Port Pirie on Wednesday, sunny on Thursday, tops of 31 both days. Similar conditions at Clare. Broken Hill looking mostly fine over the coming days. And Louise, that brings us to the end of the forecast.
Lovely, thank you for that, Britt. And that's your local news this Monday evening. Thank you for joining us today. We'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.